This is Professor Brame, and I'm creating this video for you so that you can be familiar with the technology that is required for the Bachelor of Science in Mathematics program, including Blackboard, Teams, and OneNote. First, I want to talk to you about the Blackboard portion of your class. Obviously here I am in MA 205 Calculus 1. It is going to be the same format for any of the math program courses with the exception of MA 215, which is in a completely different format because it is completely online and doesn't have that synchronous component. In each of your Blackboard courses, you will be opening to the announcements page, and typically that announcement is very general and says, be sure to click the Welcome to whatever the course is page. So in that welcome page, I give the course description, a little bit of information about the course materials that you will need, which is the same for every program course, how to set up your device, and that is whether you're using a Surface or whether you're using some other device. Please keep in mind, however, that you do have that technology requirement of digital inking. So if you're using another device, it might be a device like the Surface that has its own stylus, or it might be a separate Wacom tablet. Either way, make sure you have everything set up before the course begins. And then of course this is that video that I'm recording now. Also, of course, make sure that you visit the syllabus for whichever class you are enrolled in. The syllabus part 1 is general information. Syllabus part 2 takes you through exactly how you will be graded for the course, so you're going to want to spend some time looking through that. The announcements, there's only the one announcement, and from here on out, essentially you will get all of your announcement in the Teams environment, so that's not a very important page to you. And then of course your instructor info takes you to my info, which is also in the OneNote notebook. In terms of the assignments for your course, typically you'll just have either chapters or units here on the left hand side, and so I can see that no matter which one I click on, it's going to be the same format. I'm going to have some sort of introduction to what we're learning about in that unit or chapter. In this case, I've got a link to Webassign homework. So for MA 205 and MA 206, you will use Webassign to complete your homework. For the other classes, you will complete your homework in your OneNote notebook. And then there's always a link to the chapter assessment, and that would be the same for any of these links that I click on. It gives an introduction, what the homework is, and the assessment for that term. And again, that is because all of your assignments and discussion and interaction with myself and with your classmates will take place in either Teams or OneNote. In addition to the unit or chapter links on the left-hand side, you will also have a resources tab, and typically that resources tab will have a link to the team, which we'll go through more in a little bit. But again, you'll just click on that to add yourself to the team for that course. There is a course schedule. You do want to click on that and make sure you are aware of when everything is due for your course. And then of course there's an Examity link for if you have a proctored exam for your course. To get started, the first thing you will want to do is to download Teams to your device. If you don't already have Teams on your device, please be sure that you either click on the Teams link in your course, which will take you to our online team, and it will give you an option to download Teams there. Otherwise, simply enter teams.microsoft.com/download and click enter to take you to this page. And then you have two options: download for desktop, download for mobile. You can download this to your Windows device or to an Apple device. Also, you can download it for your phone, and I encourage you to do both. And here is the reason why. If you have Teams on your phone, and I also have Teams on my phone, then when I send an announcement, you will get that immediately. You won't have to wait until the next time you open your computer to start your homework. You will know exactly what I'm telling you, exactly when I'm telling you. And in reverse, if you have a question for me, I will get that notification immediately as opposed to waiting until the next time I open up my computer to do some work. So if you have a quick question, I'm typically able to get back to you very quickly. Within Teams, it's important to know how to get around, how to do whatever it is that you need to do. So as you can see, I've created a fake demo team here so that I can demonstrate some things to you. And there's nothing that has already been posted here. So this is a fresh team. Typically then at the beginning, there will be some sort of announcement. So notice by clicking the @ sign, I can choose demo team. And whenever you talk to the group, you will want to use that @ mention. So if you'll hear me say, be sure to @ mention me, that means you want to @ and then start typing my name. Now it won't let me @ mention myself for obvious reasons, but you can @ mention people and it will send them a notification. If I @ mention the team, it will send everyone in the team a notification. So for instance, let's say you had a question on the homework, you would @ mention whichever team you're in and then say, I got stuck on question 2, can you help? And then I can either attach a screenshot of what I've done, or I can tell people where to find my question, which could be in your OneNote notebook or wherever else. So that's one way to go about reaching your team. Obviously, there's also quite a few options down here. So there's format font, the attachment button we've already talked about. There's little stickers or GIFs, and you can add those as well. Those are the stickers. This is particularly helpful, this Meet Now function. If I click that, it would allow me to meet with anybody right at that time. So if you and I are chatting back and forth, and then you have a question, and I say, you know what, let's just pop on to Teams and chat real quick, I can just click that, and you can then join that little meeting. There is also a stream, which we don't really use in this class, or praise. One thing I do want to point out to you that you will use often is, here's that post I just made about how I got stuck on a question. Over here, there are several little emojis, icons, like, love, etc. You will use this like often because I will ask you to, after you have reviewed somebody's post, particularly my announcements post that I do every week, I'll want you to like it because that tells me that you have in fact seen what I've told you about that week. And so make sure that just get into that habit right off the bat. Whenever you have something that I have posted, be sure you like it. You can also like your classmates' post. Sometimes I just want to make sure you're paying attention and I say, once you get to the end, be sure to love instead of like, or give me any other emoji. And that's how I know that you've actually read it. So please do make sure that you're reading any of the announcements that I send out and that you react appropriately. Notice here underneath our team we only have one channel, and it's called the general channel. That's where most things will happen in your course. If, however, you are in a course where you end up with a group project, quite often you will see that I can say add a new channel. And in that channel, group 1 project. So I can create that channel myself, or you can. And if you're creating your own channel and you want it to be private, then you can specify who will be in that group. Obviously there are no people in this team right now, and so I'm not really able to add people, but if you do create your own team, do make sure that you add me as a teacher so that I'm able to view, because that's obviously where I'm going to go to grade your items. So for now, I'm not going to add anybody to that, but as you can see by creating that group, I now have a group 1 project link, and the little lock shows that it is a private group. If it were not private, it would look just like general and everybody could get to it. In terms of your general post, let's take a look at the tabs at the top. We have posts, which is sort of like your typical feed where you will type anything that you need to. Files, obviously this is a fake one, so I don't have any files in there, but if you add a file to the general posts, it will also be housed here. Class Notebook is where you will click to get to your class notebook for your team. For this one, because it's fake, I don't have a class notebook. So notice it says there is no notebook. There will be in your normal team. In the assignments tab, that will be very important because you will do your assignments in OneNote and you will access those through Teams. And then of course you can get to grades as well. So that's everything sort of in that main part of Teams. Now let's talk in a little bit more specifics. You will also want to make sure that you have OneNote 2016 on your device. Many devices come with a OneNote app. You can certainly use the app or you can use OneNote 2016. I prefer 2016, though I know that the app is becoming more robust, so it might be that you prefer the app instead of OneNote 2016. If you don't have it on your device, just simply go to onenote.com/download and then download it to your device. Again, you can download this to your phone as well, but it is not as important as having Teams on your phone. OneNote should be on whichever device you are using to complete your homework that is capable of digital inking. You also need to be familiar with using OneNote. OneNote is where you will spend quite a bit of your time for this program. Typically, to get to your OneNote notebook, you will again go through the Teams environment and click on Class Notebook, and it will give you a display of the notebook here that looks very similar to this. Again, you will want to open the OneNote notebook in your app, so there should be an option here to click Open in the app. And again, if you've set up your device correctly, it should open in OneNote 2016 or the OneNote app, depending on what you chose to be your default application. All of the notebooks are similar in quite a few ways, so you'll typically have some tabs, as you have here, in the main section. The important thing to understand about those tabs is that they are resources that are available to you and to your classmates, but they are not editable by you. So some of them you might want to edit, and I will show you in a little bit how to get a copy of those to your own notebook. Typically there will be a resources tab, and the resources tab will have a syllabus and the course schedule, along with any other things that I think might be helpful to you in that course. There should also be a notes tab and a videos tab in most of your courses, and the notes are the OneNote PowerPoints that go along with the videos that I've recorded for this course. So we can see here, Chapter 1, a preview of calculus, is a video using the same OneNote notes as 1.1, a preview of calculus. There's also in this course a handouts page. Quite often you will not see that handouts page. But here we have the notes and the videos. And again, these are not things that you are able to edit until they're in your own section of the notebook. We'll get to that in just a moment. First, let's take a look at the collaboration space. The collaboration space is an area that is editable by everyone. So no matter what you put in there, anybody can edit it. Typically there's a classmates page, which is where you will do your introduction to the course. It's very helpful to have information about each of the people that you are working with because you'll work with them quite often. There's the homework help page, which is super helpful because if you get stuck on a question, you can either take a screenshot and paste it here and then write below that what you did or what you tried. And again, this is where your digital inking comes into play. So I can write here that I had 2x plus 8 equals 7, and then I had 2x equals 15, and then say I got stuck, and someone could tell me, hey, it looks like you added 8 to each side instead of subtracted 8. So you get the idea that this is where you can do a lot of your collaboration because you can write very easily just like you would on paper. Again, if you are going to post in that homework help section, it's always helpful to @mention your team back in the Teams environment so that your teammates know to check. There is also an availability page, and that is very important because, as you know, we have several synchronous sessions per term, either individually with the instructor, myself, or as a group, and I do my best to accommodate everyone's busy schedules. As you are putting your information in here, please do give as much availability as you can. So it's very tempting to say, well, I only want to meet with people after 6 and before 8. But if you have a class of 18 people, it's not going to work for you to be that limited with your availability. So please do give as much availability as possible so that I can accommodate everyone. I'm in the collaboration space now, but want to go back to the main page. So again, I'm going to click on the arrow, and again, notice I'm back on the main page. Then there's also a demo student. So you would see this page and it would have your name here. You will not see the teacher only page, obviously. The demo student, your pages will already be set up as this demo student is. So notice I'll have a class notes page, and typically I copy over those class notes for everyone. And the reason I do that is because then you have your own copy of the notes, and as you're watching the video, if I go through an example, which often I do, then you are able to use your digital inking to write right on the page so that you have that those notes to refer back to. There's also a homework page, which you'll see this is where your homework will be distributed to you from Teams. And The first question is a worksheet, so again, I can just write right on the screen and show any work that I need to. The other ones are, in this course specifically, we use Webassign, so you are to do all of the questions in Webassign, but there's certain questions that I want you to show work on and show that work here. So that is what I, as an instructor, will look at so that I can see that you're doing the steps correctly and not just finding some website that gives you the answers. So be sure that you are actually learning the processes for your own benefit. Then there's typically a My Stuff page, and the My Stuff won't have anything in it because it's for you. So this is where you will add anything that you want. So if you have found a great video, you can link that video here. If you found a great handout or resource, you can link those there as well. For instance, I do have some handouts here, and I'll show you how to then copy those to your own page. So let's say I want all of the handouts. So I'm going to shift and select all of those handouts, and then I can just copy those, and then I can go to my demo student page, and then I can paste those. So then I have my own copy of all of the handouts. And again, you can do that with anything at all that I have in these main tabs. You can copy them yourself. So if you go to your student page, and you can see that I have forgotten to distribute the notes to you. Obviously that's not the case here, but let's say I forgot to distribute the notes. All you would have to do is go to the main page and go to the notes, and again copy those over. The last thing I want to show you in OneNote is how to insert a printout, as I have here. So as you can see, I have the 1.1 notes, and I'm going to remove that printout for just a moment. So if you have a PowerPoint or a Word document or an Excel document and you drag it here, in fact, let me do that. No, it's not even going to do it. If I paste it there, typically it will ask me the question, do I want to attach the document or insert a printout? So if I just attach it, I can still right click and click Insert as Printout, and it will take a few moments, but it will then print out all of the pages. So again, I don't have to open the document to see them. I can just look at them right on the page. Now, if you click Insert as Printout and it inserts it on several pages, you just need to change a setting in your OneNote. So in File, Options, hopefully it opens up so that I can show you, Advanced, all the way down at the bottom there is a keep going, all the way down at the bottom there is an insert long printouts on multiple pages. Make sure that is unchecked. If I check it and then try to insert that printout, it's going to give me a page for each slide, which is super annoying. So make sure that is unchecked, and then it should work just as it looks here. Again, the demo student, which would be your page, this is where you will do all of your class notes using your digital inking. So as you're watching the video, you can make notes to yourself, and this is where you'll complete your homework. So if I'm asked to show work on number 7, I can then say the limit as x approaches 0 of x plus 3 is 0 plus 3, which is 3. And again, that's me showing work. You can also take a screenshot of that question in Webassign, or if you're in a class that doesn't use Webassign, which is most of them, take a screenshot of the question from your textbook and add it to this file as well, and then do the homework underneath. That is, in fact, how I do my pages. So you won't see the teacher only page, but obviously I have a key. And for the first homework, I can see this is question 1. I've taken a screenshot of it. So I'm not asked to show work on question 1, but if I did, I could then show work right underneath that printout. So you can see exactly what you would have to do to be successful. As always, please be sure that you ask questions often. Don't feel like you're the only one who doesn't know what they're doing, because everyone probably has the same questions. The easiest way, as I said, to ask questions is within your team's environment. In general, under posts, you go down to the @ and you start typing the name of the team, or you start typing my name. And again, it's not going to let me choose my own name, but I could certainly choose anybody's name I needed to and @ mention that team. Best of luck to you, and I'll be seeing you in Teams.